So one day, after 2 years of taking this tiny rubber band ball that grew really big to the pawn shop guy to see what it would give me, and a bunch of other random stuff that most of the time didn't work out, I'm here to surprise the pawn guy with his very own tiny rubber band ball to pawn. This is how he reacted.
What's up, Dylan?
I have a new ball.
It's a nice little round ball.
I'm not trying to sell it or sell anything.
Really? What brings you in then?
Just wanted to give you this ball.
Sweet.
A gift and a thank you for being in all my videos.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah, so you can put it on one of these shelves and try to sell it. I then told him I wanted him to try to pawn it and see how much he could get for it.
How much you think you want to get out of it? How about $99.99? Let's find a spot to put it.
And he actually had the perfect spot for it. Follow along to see how much it goes for. Full vid, link in bio. So one day, after trying and failing to completely fill this inflatable dome up with water, I said we would try again and fix everything that went wrong in a part 2 if the video got enough likes. So that's what we're gonna do. This time we'll be working on completely level ground using way more flex tape. My first task inside the dome was making sure everything was completely sealed off and ready for the water. My friend got this super powerful water gun and tried to shoot me. I just continued on doing my normal dome things, and then I saw my dog. I couldn't even pet her, she was so far. But I just stayed in the dome, hour on end, waiting for the water to fill up. I also patched this leak, and my brother got me Sonic because I was hungry. A corn dog never tasted so good. And then I heard the ice cream man. My friends got me ice cream. The guy said,
subscribe to Dylan Ayres.
I got a bomb pop. I broke it, but it was delicious. Meanwhile, I'd been in there for 3 hours, and the water was actually expanding the dome instead of going up. The sun was coming down, and it was about to rain, so we had to halt the water. So I stopped this leak with my tongue like this, did a cannonball, and tried to ride the waves on this whale. But time was up. I unzipped the dome and tried to ride out on my whale. This happened. So one day it was super windy, so I decided to take my hamster ball out on the lake. I was going to have to walk across this bridge to get to my launching point. I went until I got to the bridge, walking in my hamster ball. Yeah, pretty cool. Then I walked across and made it to the water. I just rolled into the water like this, and I was hoping because of how windy it would just push me all the way to the other shore where I needed to be. I waved hi to my brother, and it was really cool in there. I tried to look for fishies underwater. Fish! And it perfectly worked. I floated to the other side until I reached the end of my journey. But it wasn't over yet, because I wanted to try one more time, but this time something interesting happened. I encountered a Karen. She came out of nowhere and then came up to me and said something, but I didn't even hear her, so I said, "What?" But no worries. She eventually wandered off into Karen land, and I continued on my journey, making it all the way across. So one day someone commented that I should fill my inflatable hamster ball up with all these packing peanuts that were in this room, so that's what I did. I then pushed it downstairs to get in and air it up. I got in, let it air up for a little bit, and then I got a snowball thrown at me, ow, and then I kept on airing it up until it was full. And it was really cool inside and soft. I splashed around all the packing peanuts, and then did a roll, and it didn't even hurt because all the packing peanuts cushioned my rolling. I then kept on rolling, and it looked like a popcorn machine. Here's the inside of it. And then me running as fast as I can and falling into the packing peanuts. Then I wanted to see if I could completely hide in the packing peanuts like this, and it worked. Here I am though. I then ran a little bit more, got tired, and got out. Let me know what else I should try. It's officially part 99 of my giant rubber band ball, and this is 50 more pounds of rubber bands that we're about to add on to the ball. We start by looping all the bands together like this, which is the longest part. We sit there for what feels like an eternity, just looping band after band after band until the pile is completely empty. We're almost to rubber band ball part 100, which is crazy, and for part 100 we're going to be placing 100 pounds on the rubber band ball. And we finished up these two 25-pound strands like this until the ball was finished. Weighing literally 1,600 pounds, it almost took out my tripod. So one day people commented saying I need to fill my hamster ball with even more packing peanuts, which is kind of impossible because once it's like this, it's really hard to fit any more in. But we tried our best, got some more in, and aired it all the way up until it looked like this. And it didn't look much different because I couldn't fit that much more packing peanuts in there, but I just rolled anyway because it was still pretty fun. My goal was just to run as far as I could and then fall, which is what I did. I kept on rolling and rolling, and then I just fell down in the packing peanut. And it pretty much just looks like I'm in a giant popcorn machine. I did one more really big roll right into the packing peanut, and then turned around and said hi. Then I was consumed forever. No, I'm just kidding. I escaped. So it's part 98 of my over 1,500-pound rubber band ball. I ordered more bands at the price of $230. I recruited some help and then got out at looping all 50 pounds of bands to place on the ball. And this is the longest I've gone in between rubber band ball videos. Rubber bands have been pretty difficult to get lately, but as long as you guys keep liking and supporting these videos, I'll keep on adding more bands to the rubber band ball. We finished adding bands, threw some stuff, and then aired up this hamster ball. People wanted me to try to fit the ball in it, but I couldn't, so I threw it on top. Then I stood on the ball like this and hopped off. Like for for me to keep going. So one day, people wanted me to fill this giant water balloon up and smash it with my over 1,300-pound rubber band ball. The problem is this ball is super hard to move. We barely got it outside. Stood on it like this, and then we began filling the water balloon up. It's supposed to be about 6 feet, but I'm not sure how big we'll be able to get it. We stopped it at a pretty decent size and then tried to roll the rubber band ball to it. And the huge ball had to go up a slight incline, which made it really hard. We got it on the balloon, but it didn't even pop. It wasn't exactly easy to keep trying, so we just threw this little rubber band ball on it like this, and it wouldn't pop until eventually I just threw it like this, and then bam, all the water went everywhere. So one day I went to my local gas station to make the weirdest, walkiest looking slush in the world. I had blue, red, Mountain Dew, and a splash of Coke slushy. Then I bought some candy like this and went home. I also decided to add some orange juice and some Sour Head Bang to the mix. I poured the Bang, then the orange juice, splashed the candy in like this, and started mixing. I stirred it for a little bit, but I wanted to get really shook up, so I poured it in this shaker bottle. I then just started vigorously shaking it all over, right here and then here, until it looked like this. I dropped a Minto in and then gave it a taste, and it was pretty weird. I let it sit overnight in the fridge and tasted it again. It was even more potent. So one day someone commented saying I should fill this entire purple mattress grid up with all eggs. I'm only going to put about 60 eggs in there because I don't want to use that much food. I unzipped the mattress like this, and the purple grid is insanely cool. It looks like this and feels really awesome. I then opened up all the eggs and started placing them in. First one, and then a million more. Well, actually like 57 because 2 were broken, but yeah. I filled it as much as possible, and then it was time to fall on it and test them out. And the eggs did pretty good, so I got out my rubber band ball, but I couldn't even push it on, so I did another hop and then started stepping on the eggs like this, and it was crazy. They all just survived. So then I just punched one of the eggs like this and cracked it. Let me know what else I should try. So this is my rubber band ball, and here's the world record. My ball is currently 1,400 pounds and a long way from the record at 9,000 pounds, but we looped all these bands, 50 pounds to be exact, until it was finished, and then we were ready to place them on the ball to get it one step closer to the world record. And just by leaving a like on this video, you can help aid in the journey to beating the world record. Here I am rolling and then falling off the ball like this, and here's the ball in all of its awesomeness. It's Rubber Band Ball Part 100. It's crazy to think 2 years ago this ball started from a watermelon, and now it's literally almost 1,700 pounds. And for Part 100, I ordered a very pricey 100 pounds of rubber bands. This is the most amount of bands we've ever placed in one sitting, so I'm not looking forward to it. And if you've never seen one of these, we literally just loop all the bands because they're too small to wrap around the ball. We loop them into strands like this, and after a very long time, 3 hours to be exact, the pile disappeared, leaving us with these long strands that we then just wrap around the ball. And just like that, here's another 100 pounds being added on to the rubber band ball. Even though this ball is massive, we're still a long way from the world record. Give this video a like and I'll keep going. So one day after I went to Casey's and made a bunch of random stuff into a slushy, people were like, what in the world? Saying things like, that's how you get diabetes. Well, yeah, maybe this wasn't the healthiest drink. Here it is a few days later. But we're going to make an even better drink today. I went back to the convenience store, and this time my goal was to choose similarly flavored candies, like wild berry and cherry and wild berry. Got all the candies, and then I poured the mixed slush. Then took it home to mix up the concoction. Started by pouring the baby bottle pop powder into the cup, and then I broke off the candy, poured some Skittles in, threw the Lifesavers in, and accidentally broke the Juicy Drop pop. Then I started pouring the berry-flavored Vooz in to give the drink some hydration and balance it out. One flavor right on top of the other, and then I started stirring like this. Poured it into the shaker and kept on shaking again until the drink was ready for a taste.
It's actually really good.
The drink was way better than the last one. My brother even tried it.
Wow.
And even after sitting in the fridge, it was just really sweet. So one day, after people kept telling me to fill this giant 30-foot balloon up with helium instead of air, I went to Party City and got 2 helium tanks to try and make my dog Remy fly. First, I aired it up with the first one, like this, and it wasn't very much helium, so I got out the second one, and I really didn't end up with that much helium, yeah, but it's super expensive, so we're going to try to make it work. I was hoping Remy would run and the balloon would fly up, but she didn't really. She ran a little bit here, and then I got scared she was going to run into a tree, so I took it and couldn't make it fly. So sad. So one day, after I made a video with these moon shoes, the company sent me a box, which contained the original moon shoes, a yo-yo ball, and these soccer boppers that I let my brother hit me in the face with. I then opened the moon shoes and was kind of confused. I had to wrap a bunch of rubber bands to it like this. I then stood on it and it was pretty stable. Here's what it all looked like. I then strapped them on my feet and headed out the door, with the help of a cane. And the shoes were a little bouncy, but very hard to run in. Yeah, not much faster. And here's my brother bouncing in slow-mo. And then he fell. So one day I googled my net worth and it turns out I was a multi-millionaire. I was so shocked and happy. I could finally really start to enjoy life with no boundaries. Money was no object for a guy like me. I even went to Starbucks.
Hey there, welcome to Starbucks.
And paid $7 for this pink drink. And I still had $29,399,993. So I had an idea. Buy some friends.
Yo, be my friend.
Okay.
I was so excited that I took my new best friend to go buy this Tesla. It was a really nice car and he was so happy. Then I went to check my bank and I realized I wasn't a millionaire. So one day my dog looked kind of sad, so I had an idea. Get my dog a puppy. I googled puppy and then got her one. I sat him down in front of Remy, and this was her reaction. She looked pretty happy, but the puppy didn't really know what to think. Remy taught him how to eat grass like this, and then got up real close to him, but he acted pretty shy. We named the puppy Rocco, and eventually his personality started to come out a little bit more. And him and Remy started to become really good friends. Be sure to like and follow to keep up with the puppy, and go follow him. Yeah. This is my giant 1,600-pound rubber band ball, and as many of you know, it started from, an exploding watermelon. And for over the last 2 years, it's continued on past what I ever thought it would. Weighing over 1,600 pounds, we're on our way to a world record. Well, kinda, we're still like 8,000 pounds away, but the point is, this ball's come a long way, and it's only the beginning. Just kidding, because we're gonna completely destroy it. Yeah, just kidding again. It's indestructible. But the next part is part 100, and we're adding 100 pounds of rubber band. So stay tuned. So it's rubber band ball part 95, and this ball weighs 1,350 pounds. We had it outside and had to push it all the way inside, which was really hard, and then we dumped out all these bands to place. My friend Brennan did one pile of 25 pounds, and I did the other pile of 25 pounds, and we just looped them all together until we had 2 giant strands of bands that we wrapped completely around the ball like this. Another 50 pounds like that. The ball is now 1,400 pounds. Be sure to give this a like for me to beat the world record. So one day, a couple months ago, I ambushed my friend Brendan with this super powerful water gun. And today I decided to do it even better. Brendan told me he was at the gym working out and about to finish up. I filled the water gun completely up like this, and then it was ready to go. Here's a normal shot, and here's the most powerful shot. Then I shot around my dogs to try to scare him. And then I was ready to ambush my friend Brendan. I waited until he came out. Then I got a clean hit on him like this. He tried to run, but I kept on shooting. Then he came back.
Like, what?
I acted like I was going to shoot him, then I just cleaned out the pavement and his car. Comment any other ideas? So one day people were commenting saying my over 1,400-pound rubber band ball is boring now because it can barely move. But at the end of the video, this ball will be over 1,500 pounds, and I'm going to prove that we can still move it by knocking down a bunch of bowling pins. We finished looping all 50 pounds of bands and then placed it perfectly on the ball like this. And then it was time to set up these pins. I set them up, tested them out, and then set them up again for the rubber band ball. And the ball can roll with a lot of effort, but it's really hard to get it to go where you want it. We eventually knocked over a bunch of pins and then crushed this pin like this. So comment if I should keep the series alive. So one day my comments were amazed I was able to destroy a Nokia, so here I have another one that I bought for 25 cents. And when I slammed it, the back just flew off of it, so then I tried to roll my rubber band ball on it, and it was just kind of awkward because it wouldn't really go over it right. Eventually I just laid it down right here to run it over like this. We looked at it afterwards and it was pretty crushed. But I wanted it to be completely totaled, so I smashed it with this brick, and then I took his son, the younger Nokia. It's rubber band ball part 94, and we're going to add 50 more pounds or 2 more boxes of rubber band. The ball is currently 1,300 pounds and a long way from the world record. We got to it, looping all these bands as usual into 2 big piles. Here was the rubber band ball in all its awesomeness, and then we just kept on wrapping the bands around the ball like this. And in not too long, bam, 50 pounds was added onto the ball, and it's just completely massive. And at 1,350 pounds, it was pretty hard for me or my friend Brendan to push it. Kind of dangerous rolling, and be sure to give a like on this video if you want me to keep on going. So one day I flew all the way out to California to try In-N-Out for the very first time. There is none of these where I live, and apparently people like them. The aesthetic was very nice. I looked at the menu and decided I wanted a burger, some fries, and a milkshake. I also got a drink, and it had these cool touchless things. Here's my burger and fries. They looked really good. The milkshake was amazing. I then dipped my french fry into my shake, and it was amazing. Now it was time for the burger, and it was pretty good. In-N-Out, I'd say it lived up to the expectation. So one day I went to the Mr. Beast gumball machine to try to win a Tesla. I took my big coin, put it in the slot, gave it a twist, and then a ball shot right out of this thing. I was feeling pretty lucky. I picked it up, and inside the gumball was some cool socks and a chocolate bar.